Welcome to Postcards to the Universe with Melisa Caprio. Do you believe in magic? What if you were told that all you had to do was get a little creative and work a magic spell to bring anything you can imagine into your life? Here on Postcards to the Universe, we will share manifesting, tips, postcards, creativity, abundance, and prosperity. Here is your host, Melisa Caprio.
Hello and welcome to Postcards to the Universe with Melisa, creating the life you crave. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I feel like the energy has been pretty intense lately. I don't know about you, but that's how I feel. I have a really cool guest today, Law of Attraction Practitioner, author and podcaster, Chatzakis on today, and she's going to join us in a few minutes. Just a few things before we do that. Last week, it was so great. I was asked, I mentioned it on the show, I was asked to be the local author to do the ribbon cutting and book signing at a new Barnes and Noble that was opening here locally, and it was such a huge success. People were lined up waiting to get into the store, and I almost sold out of all my signed books, which as an author is, that's just amazing and thrilling. It was so nice to be out again in public, speaking with people and sharing my work. I loved it. It was just so much fun, and I'm looking forward to doing more events. I am in the process of writing my second book, which is about 85% now finished now. So that's kind of exciting, and hopefully that will be published next year. For those of you who are new tuning into my show for the first time, I'm also an author, and my book is titled Postcards to the Universe, Harness the Universe's Power and Manifest Your Dreams. There are 30 manifesting stories in my book, along with photographs that I took of the contributors' manifesting postcards. I include writing exercises to help you get clear on what you want to manifest, and a toolbox full of fun exercises on how to manifest love, money, health, career, and much more. If you're interested in doing these cool inner work exercises that I have and reading people's incredible journeys of transformation, inspiration, and manifesting, please go to your favorite bookstore and you can purchase a copy. Each week I share a Magic Monday message. It's an image of a manifesting postcard that I photograph with an affirmation that I like to focus on for that week. I tap into the energy of that affirmation and keep repeating it to myself to increase its power to become a new belief that I incorporate into my life. Inspired by my book signing and opening of a new Barnes & Noble, this week's Magic Monday message is the affirmation, is when your book dreams manifest. So it's an image of my book with a camera, and it's pretty obvious what I wanted to manifest. If you had asked me years ago, did I think I would ever be an author, I would have said, no way. Maybe one day I will have a book of my images, but actually writing about the law of attraction, it wasn't even on my radar. But when I started Postcards to the Universe and was hosting workshops and people were sending me their manifesting postcards, the seeds of writing a book were planted. And once they were planted, I wanted to write a book, and I wanted to have my book in the hands of a publisher and be in bookstores. In fact, my story in the book, my story, was how I created a manifesting postcard and getting a publisher. And I created a postcard, and I had it hanging on my gallery wall in my house. I have a gallery wall where I have other photographs, pictures, and books, and every day I would see it. So it was always in my consciousness doing its magic. When I received the email that, yes, Mango Publishing wanted to publish my book, at first, my first response was like, really? What does this mean? Like, for real? Like, it took a minute for it to sink in, but once it did, when it did sink in, that's when It's because when we focus on what we want instead of what we don't want, the universe will find a way to bring it to you. And that's what happened. A little piece of advice, though, and I've learned this through trial and error. When you really want something badly and you put it out there, you have to let it go. You must have faith that it will come exactly as it was meant to. We end up getting in our own way and blocking it because it doesn't show up the way we want or the way we imagine. So cast out your desires, right? Just keep doing that. Cast out your desires and just trust that it's on its way to you. Just have faith and trust. To see the images of my Magic Monday message postcards with their affirmations, you can find them on my website, Postcards to the Universe, or any of my social media accounts because I post them each week. Okay, so next week I have relationship coach Dr. Holly Beatty, who helps sincere, kind-hearted, conscious single clients find the love of their dreams. With a doctorate in clinical psychology and a successful career in executive search, she is uniquely qualified to find you your perfect match. She founded Find Love at Last in 2014 to help sincere women and men find lasting love, and has been a matchmaker, coach, and image consultant. She brings more than 15 years of rich personal dating experience before finding the wonderful man with whom she is happily committed. She created this boutique love agency to expedite your path to love. Cultivate love. One client at a time is her passion. So if you're looking for a relationship, romantic, then next week is the show that you want to join. Okay, so to get to my guest today, her name is Tara Chatzakis. I hope I'm saying this right. Is an entrepreneur, podcast host, author, and a business startup coach who is passionate about helping women create the confidence, mindset, and know-how to build their own businesses. Tara is here to be your cheerleader, motivator, and butt kicker. Her life purpose is to show the world the best and most effective ways to create whatever they desire, using a variety of techniques and processes. Tara's approach is all-inclusive as she believes that there is a way for everyone to become spiritually enlightened and to find the path that will be their life's passion. She is a Law of Attraction Practitioner, a member of the International Alliance of Holistic Therapists, and a podcast host of her very popular podcast titled Happy, Inspired, Motivated. And her website to find out more about her is www.tarachatzakis, TARCHATZAKIS.com. Welcome, Tara. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Hi, Melisa. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm really well. It's 9 p.m. here and I'm sat here in my pajamas.
That's the best way to do it. Okay, so share a little bit about who you are and what made you become a Law of Attraction Practitioner.
I have 3 daughters. We live on the Isle of Wight, which is in the UK, a small island off the south coast.
Oh, you're going in and out, Tara, a little bit. Yeah. Are we losing you?
Hello?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. You just went somewhere in the ethers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Try that again. Okay, share who you are and how you became a Law of Attraction Practitioner.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It must be the water between us. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm a mum to 3 daughters. I live on the Isle of Wight in the UK, and it's a small island off the south coast. I started looking at the Law of Attraction around 2009 when I was in my marriage, and it was an unhappy marriage. And situations that happened, I had a hug from the universe, which was totally amazing. That was my turning point, which got me more interested in the Law of Attraction and finding out actually what it was and how it worked and what it actually involved. So that's how I started on my path towards the Law of Attraction. It was not something I'd really looked at before. So,
what do you mean you got a hug from the universe?
I literally got a hug from the universe. I know it sounds crazy.
No, I'm interested. I want to know the story. How did that happen? What happened?
Well, I was talking to a friend of mine who actually, she lives in the States as well. And I was really unhappy in my marriage. And she said to me, what are you going to do about it? And up until that point, I'd actually thought I couldn't do anything about it. I thought, well, this is my life. This is what I've created. I have to stay where I am, and there's no other path, type of thing. So when she said that, I sort of thought, hold on, maybe there is more to life. Maybe I could do something else. And when I came off the call, I broke down in tears. I was sobbing. It was sort of like a combination of relief and also sadness as well. And I had this massive hug around the whole of my body. And it wasn't like a tight squeeze. It was just it was like a warm embrace and I felt loved and supported and safe, secure. And I just knew then, I had the feeling deep within me that anything was possible, that I could do anything and I would never fail. That was the hug.
Wow, that's pretty powerful.
It was. I didn't know what was happening at first.
Yeah, right. So how did you associate that feeling and then start realizing about the law of attraction? Did somebody say, have you looked at why you attracted the marriage that you had, why you have these things in your life? Because a lot of people, I'm going to let you, since you're a law of attraction coach, explain what is the law of attraction. Why don't we start there, and then you can incorporate it how it worked in your life.
Okay, yeah. So the law of attraction it's more of a reflection than attraction as I see it. So if you think of the law of attraction as a mirror and what you're reflecting out from yourself, so if you're happy or you're sad, it goes into the mirror and it reflects back to you, and the reflection back is a situation, experiences or people that come into your life. So it's not that you're particularly attracting, it's that you're getting back what you give out. So that's how the law of attraction works, basically. Right. I wasn't being told by anyone to look at how I'd attracted things in my life. I just knew that I had this feeling to pursue this. And that's what got me interested in it. So I started researching and looking for things to find out more information about what it was and if anybody else had experienced something like me. And there were a few people that I found on the internet that had similar experiences, but it was quite rare. And I just felt very blessed that the universe had touched me to awaken me and to help me move forward and help other people do the same.
Yeah, definitely. When I was introduced to it, I had a similar experience of once I learned about what it was. And like you said, like a mirror, the reflection, things were reflecting back to me. How did you get some really big insights in your life about some of the things because we talk about the law of attraction and it's fancy and you manifest what you want, but most of the time we're unaware, and a lot of the things we're reflecting back are things we don't want, right?
Yeah.
Things that are making us very unhappy. So did you do a lot of self-reflection?
In the beginning, not particularly. I was more interested in the fact that I'd found this courage and support around me to know that I could actually leave. And that's what I did to start with. I left my husband and I came back to the UK with my 3 daughters. So it was from there that I had to rebuild myself. When you've been through that kind of relationship, you come out and you're like a thumbnail of yourself. You haven't got the confidence. You're not outgoing. You want to just hide away. I felt like a failure. I thought, I'd failed at my marriage, and I blamed myself for all of it because, that's just how you feel in those kind of situations most of the time. So I kind of had to rebuild my soul. I felt barren, if that makes sense. So I had to rebuild myself, and that's when I started looking and researching and finding about how I had created this situation and how I had, because I was so unhappy, the situations that came back were making me even more unhappy, and I couldn't understand why I was having to live this way. I was, when you start to feel as though that you're the victim, then it's easy for those kind of situations to keep coming back to you, and you become the victim in all the situations because you're attracting it back into your life because that's what you feel you're worthy of.
Yes. That's a good point. That victim mentality, we get re-victimized over and over again because, we're going to really, we'll talk more. We have a minute or so before we have to take our break, so I don't want to get into it too deep, but we'll talk more about our vibration, right? So if you have the victim vibration, what do you think you're going to be vibrating and manifesting is more victim situations where you're the victim. So you want to talk about like the difference between high and low vibration. And when we talk about the law of attraction, we're talking about manifesting, right? So can you quickly give a description of what you think manifesting is, and then we'll take our break, and then we'll get back into it deeper.
So manifesting is creating the vibration of what you want to reflect into that mirror so that's what comes back into your life. And the manifestation is... So the whole of the air around you is not just nothingness because there's no voids in the universe. It's actually just unmanifested energy. And when it interacts with a high vibrational energy or a low vibrational energy, it pulls back with it situations and people of the same vibration into your reality. And that's manifestation.
Perfect. Okay, that's a great place to start, and we'll get into that a little deeper when we come back. So guys, stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes, and we're going to be talking more about the law of attraction. Stay with us.
Conscious media for conscious minds. OMTimes. Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Hi, I'm Melisa Caprio from Postcards to the Universe, creating the life you crave. Do you believe in magic? What if I told you all you had to do was get a little creative and work a dream spell to bring anything you can imagine into your life? Well, guess what? I've got the spell for you. Postcards to the Universe, a global movement for manifestation, is a casting magical tool for you to use whenever you want. How does living in passion sound to you? Join me in my movement where you get to create in the magical playground. Let's think outside the box and do some playful conjuring. By casting out our desires with a manifesting postcard, we explore our hearts and allow the alchemy of our dreams to appear. And don't forget to tune in each week here on OMTimes Radio with my show, Postcards to the Universe, creating the life you crave at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I share tips on creativity, abundance, and prosperity, and you will be introduced to the coolest guests, trailblazers, mystics, and creatives who enrich our lives.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me The Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
The rainbow is God's promise of hope for you and me. And though the clouds hang heavy and the sun we cannot see, we know above the dark clouds that fill the stormy sky, hope's rainbow will come shining through when the clouds have drifted by. Teresa Caprio is the president and founder of Rainbow Guardian Inc., a nonprofit 501c3 serving the intellectually challenged/developmentally disabled, including autism. Teresa started the foundation in 1995 so she could help make a better life for her intellectually challenged daughter. Her dream is that the Rainbow Guardian will provide the necessary tools and education to help the public understand the special needs population because it's often discarded in mainstream society. To find out more or make a donation in support, please go to www.rainbowguardian.org. Rainbow Guardian's special mission is to see these unique people live a happy, full life and have a future of liberty and equality.
Welcome back. I have Law of Attraction Practitioner and podcast host Tara Chatzakis on today. And her podcast is called Happy, Inspired, Motivated. And I actually was a guest on her podcast, was it last week, I think, right? But it's not going to come out yet. You'll let me know when it comes out. And I'll share with all you guys so you can hear us talk then, too. It was a lot of fun. Okay, so we're talking about our vibration and low vibration and high vibration. So many of us vibrate very low. You know, we're sad, we're depressed, we're angry, maybe we're resentful, we're bitter. How do we shift our vibrations from that low energy to a higher energy for the purposes of manifesting those things that we want?
Okay, so sometimes it's not very easy just to switch it across to a higher vibration.
Right.
So a good place to start is to find just one thing that you enjoy doing or that you love. When you feel you're doing it, you're happy in your happy place. And that could be just something like walking your dog on the beach, walking in nature, painting, taking photos, dancing, anything that makes you happy. And while you're doing that, just feel in your body how different it feels to in your normal day-to-day life and when you're feeling sad. And you can usually feel a certain point in your body when you're happy or when you're sad. And it could be like somewhere in your stomach or your chest. And you can feel a different vibration in there. You can feel a warmth, for example. And tapping into that when you're feeling low and remembering how good it feels when you're doing this other thing. Your brain doesn't know if you're actually doing something, if it's real, or whether you're imagining it. So if you're imagining that, seeing that activity, your body will automatically feel happy while you're thinking about it. And just those few moments will raise your vibrational energy to a higher level. And if you can keep doing that throughout the day, then your vibrational energy will start to gradually rise to a higher level, which is the great vibration for manifesting.
Yeah. It's hard. It's good that you said to do find one thing that you enjoy doing and to concentrate on that, to focus on that, because when we are very sad or really depressed, it's really hard to get out of that, and it seems like we keep manifesting more and more things to be sad and depressed about. So to switch into that higher feeling good, a little bit of feeling good is really what we want to do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it could be watching a movie. You know, if you're really upset, if you're really sad, and a friend comes over to you and they say something funny,
right?
You can switch out of that sadness immediately and start laughing through the tears.
Right.
So you can change your state, your happiness state, or your vibrational energy very, very quickly when you want to. So admitting that you realize that you're in this low state and being conscious about changing it is one of the first steps. You have to want to do it. And like I said, that could be just, you could watch a comedy on the TV if that makes you feel good, or dance around in your kitchen with the music on. Just those small breaks will make a big difference to your energetic vibration, because it's like putting a break in the circuit if you're continuously going through the cycle of unhappiness, victim, anger, frustration, resentment, and all of these kind of feelings, just putting a break in those and doing that more often is going to stop those feelings from coming back as quickly. And you'll be able to stay in a higher vibration for longer.
Yeah. What made you decide that you wanted to learn about the law of attraction so that you wanted to be able to coach other people?
I didn't start learning about it to coach other people. I started learning about it for myself because
Sure.
I became interested in what I'd seen, what I'd read, and I wanted to learn more about it because it's something that was brand new to me. Even though it's been around since way before we were even here, it's always
Sure.
been going.
Right.
We just haven't been consciously using it until people started to realize what was happening and how we could change that. So I started to research it, started to use it, and I just fell in love with the fact that we'd missed out on this, that people didn't know about it. Like I say, the movie and the book The Secret, that's exactly what it is, because people didn't know, or still a lot of people still don't know, that this law of attraction actually exists.
Right.
People that I speak to, they've never heard of it, and I'm thinking, how is that even possible? There is so much out there, and more people need to know, and that's why I went into coaching with it.
Yeah, a lot of people just, I'll hear people say, oh, I just got unlucky, right? And they think that everything's happening to them and not realizing that things can be happening for them to get their attention, to maybe sort of like go dig a little deeper to find out what is going on. And you're right, like with the law of attraction, like when I first started Postcards, like I never... the reason I wanted to know about it was because I was looking and examining my own life way before Postcards ever came along, you know? Like I wanted to find out, why does this keep happening? Why did this happen? How did I contribute to this? And when I learned about co-creating with the universe, I thought, well, God, if that's what we're doing, then I want to do this consciously, right?
I wanted to have the good stuff.
Yeah, you want the good stuff. You don't want all the bad stuff. So,
Well, you can look back, you know, you can see when you become aware of it and you realize what part you've played in it. If you look back at sort of like your timeline, you can see the patterns and how you've always manifested some experience or some situation to validate that bad feeling, you know, feeling that you're not worthy of something. You do something else to prove to yourself that you're not worthy, because you don't like to be proved wrong, and your subconscious doesn't like to be proved wrong. So when you're feeding it consciously, saying to yourself, I'm not worthy of this, I don't deserve true love, I don't deserve to have money. Your subconscious is always looking for other situations or memories to validate what you've just said to yourself, to prove to you that, yes, you're right, Tara, you don't deserve it, you're not worthy, because it wants to prove you right all the time.
That's a really good way to put it, because when we're saying we're attracting stuff, this isn't a blame thing. Like, we don't want to say, you know, if something terrible happens in your life, oh, you deserve this because you attracted this in your life. That's not what we mean. It's not like that. So saying that you're attracting evidence to prove yourself right is really powerful, a way of saying, of how we use the law of attraction to manifest those things that we don't want. Like, I've never really heard it that way until now, so I really like that. Yeah.
Good. It's all using the brain, isn't it? So, you know, you can rewire the brain to stop yourself from automatically jumping to the worst case scenario. And then that creates a different energy, which is a different vibration, which manifests a different vibration. if somebody laughs when you walk past them, if you've had that experience in your past where you've done something and somebody's laughed and you've been embarrassed, and it's felt painful, it's you've wanted to run away from that situation. As soon as you walk past somebody and they laugh, whether they're talking about you or not, you automatically think, oh, they're laughing at me, something's happened, they're making fun of me. And that's the automatic thought you have in your brain. So you have to stop thinking those thoughts and change those thoughts to rewire your brain, which gives you different experiences when you're going out in the world. And as I said, your thoughts are a vibrational energy. So rather than having the low vibrational energy thoughts, have the higher ones. And that attracts, again, higher vibrational manifestation.
Yeah, because your actual thoughts have energy. So that's the thing that we need to be aware of, Because, think about how many thoughts you think in a day. Oh, my God.
Oh, billions, my God.
Right? So we think all these thoughts in a day. So what would you offer that we should do to try to be more conscious of our thoughts so we can shift them?
Well, as I just said about, the neural pathways, that your brain automatically chooses, it hears a laugh when you're walking past someone, and it automatically searches through its memory bank quickly and thinks, okay, well, last time this happened, it was because of this situation that I did something embarrassing and people were laughing at me. And your brain creates these shortcuts because it has all these billions of bits of information coming towards it, like every second. It hasn't got time to process everything. So it just looks for the answer that it's found on numerous occasions before, and it gives you that as the answer to what's happening. So it doesn't have to worry about sifting through the information. So it's a matter of observing your thoughts. And like I say, if somebody was laughing, what's the first thought that comes into your head? Is it they're laughing at me because of something I've done or said to them? And then feeling how you feel about that. If you feel bad, your body's a bit like a GPS system to show you whether or not you're on the right track. And if something feels bad, it's usually because it's not true or it's not the right thing for you. So if you feel bad when you have that thought, you know that it's not a true thought. It's not true. So you have to change the thoughts. Look at questioning why you think that. What happened in the past to automatically make you jump to that conclusion? And then revisit that memory, and you can change that memory of the past.
Is that some of the things that you work with your clients on doing?
Yes, it is. So looking at what we would call, for example, maybe limiting beliefs that have come up through their history and have repeated themselves time and again, and where that actually originated from, and looking at why they felt that way in the first place and how they have manifested that same feeling over and over again by doing similar actions. And also working through rewiring those neural pathways. So they say sort of the neurons that fire together, wire together. So if these memories are coming back and situations are creating the same feelings and vibrations in your body, then they're going to become like thicker pathways and cemented together. So you have to break those and change it to a different feeling. If you walk past somebody and somebody laughs, make that a thought in your mind that it's a good thing rather than a bad thing. And start retraining your brain that way.
Yeah, and it takes practice.
Yeah, of course. It's not something that happens immediately. And there'll be days when you can't shift that feeling of unhappiness. But doing it gradually, each time you do it, you're getting that muscle stronger, and you're making that new connection stronger and thicker until it becomes the habit and the belief that the old one was.
Yeah, it's like working it's working another muscle, really. It's working your thought muscles. It's in limiting, I find that from everybody that I've talked to over the years and doing the shows and interviewing people, that we all have limiting beliefs, and very common ones are, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, and I don't deserve. So how are we supposed to manifest if those are the stories that are running the show?
Yeah, like you say, they're the limiting beliefs, but we have to be aware that we have those in the first place, because quite often we don't think about what we're thinking, if that makes sense. We just automatically have these thoughts that pop into our head when a situation happens. And that's, like I said, it's the neural pathway that's automatically jumping from this experience situation to that reason and that feeling. And it could be something that somebody said to you when you were like 7 years old, and it's just stuck with you. And there's no validation behind that. And there's no reason that you should believe it, but you still do. And a lot of people don't realize that they're holding on to those often childhood beliefs that they've brought with them into adulthood.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a story we hold. Okay, so we're going to take our second break here. So I want to talk a little bit more about those limiting belief stories that run the show in our lives. So guys, stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Imagine yourself being transported to India, to the banks of the Ganga and an ashram in Rishikesh. Visualize that you are welcome to satsang with an American sannyasi who shares the wisdom of her guru. Your visualization has manifested. Join Sattvi Bhagawati Saraswati for inspiration and transformation every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio.
Hi, I'm Melisa Caprio from Postcards to the Universe, creating the life you crave. Do you believe in magic? What if I told you all you had to do was get a little creative and work a dream spell to bring anything you can imagine into your life? Well, guess what? I've got the spell for you. Postcards to the Universe, a global movement for manifestation, is a casting magical tool for you to use whenever you want. How does living in passion sound to you? Join me in my movement where you get to create in the magical playground. Let's think outside the box and do some playful conjuring. By casting out our desires with a manifesting postcard, we explore our hearts and allow the alchemy of our dreams to appear. And don't forget to tune in each week here on OMTimes Radio with my show, Postcards to the Universe, creating the life you crave at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I share tips on creativity, abundance, and prosperity, and you will be introduced to the coolest guests, trailblazers, mystics, and creatives who enrich our lives.
Coping 19, brought to you by CDC and the Ad Council.
If you're feeling increasingly lonely right now, you're not alone. It's totally normal. Even though we may not be able to get together in person, connecting virtually with friends and family still gives you a chance to interact with people and may help raise your spirits. Join a virtual book club, set up group text chats, or online video coffee breaks with coworkers.
Find more self-care and coping tips at coping-19.org.
Welcome back. So before the break, Tara, we were talking about these limiting beliefs that I like to look at them as like they're the like stories that run the show in our lives, you know? Like the person who tells themselves, like I said before, the person who tells themselves the story that I'm unlucky. Well, if that's your life story that you're telling, what do you think's going to happen? The universe is going to say, okay. There you go. Let's just look at what's so unlucky, right?
Exactly. That's the thing. The universe is bringing you back what you're giving out. So if you're saying, I'm unlucky, I'm not good enough, then the universe is like, okay, well, they're focusing on that. So let's give them some more of that because they must really like it. They must like being unlucky. They must like being in debt because they're always thinking about it. So it must be really important to them. So let's give them loads more.
Yeah, exactly. Let's give them loads more. And the universe is neutral. It's not bad. It doesn't judge bad or good the way we do. So it's whatever we focus on, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the universe doesn't look at you and say, well, Tara's asking for this, but I don't think she deserves it because she's not very nice. Right. It doesn't care whether you're a good person or you're a bad person. It doesn't care whether you are asking for good things or bad things or happy things or sad things. All its pure purpose is to give back to you exactly what you want, to match the vibration that you are resonating or giving out. It's not a matter of specifically objects. It's the vibration that you have, and it's like, okay, well, this matches that vibration, let's give them that. So say for example you are in debt and you're thinking about your debt, which of course it's not a nice place to be,
right?
If you're thinking about it all the time, let's say that's like a really low level vibration, the universe is matching that vibration and they're giving you, it's going to give you more debt because it's the same vibration. It's going to give you unhappier situations because they're low vibration as well. So it's trying to find all these things that it can bring to you that match that vibration. And if you're in a happy vibration or in a really good, you have a good vibe, the universe again is matching that. So it's bringing you a reflection of your happiness. It's bringing you more love. That's a good vibration. It's bringing you more money. That's a good vibration. It's giving you more people and situations that are matching that really high vibration. So that's why you see people and they say, oh yeah, it must be nice to be so lucky, because some people appear to be really lucky because they're happy. They have a good relationship. They have financial abundance. They have great careers. They travel. Because all of these things are the same vibration, and the universe is just bringing them more to match that vibration. That's why they say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, because it's the vibration that's being matched all the time.
Right. Yeah, because people who are wealthy have that financial abundance vibration high.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And that high vibration also brings with it other things like other forms of happiness and joy and love and laughter that aren't related to money, but they are the similar vibration to that financial abundance. So that's why they come in abundance at the same time.
See, I was looking through your website before we came on, and you offer a lot of different things. So why don't you share a little bit about what your Law of Attraction coaching is for those who might be interested working with
the Law of the Law of Attraction coaching. So pretty much what we're talking about in this radio interview, it's talking about how the Law of Attraction works and what it is. Some people think it's just woo, and they're not really sure. They think it's sort of made up, but there's science behind it, and there are findings, and people can like photograph and measure vibrational energy. So we look at all of these different aspects and how they're related in your life, how they've shaped your life, and how you can use these to go forward. And that involves manifestations and looking at limiting beliefs, rewiring your brain, all of these things that we've just been talking about. So they're all incorporated in my Law of Attraction coaching, because I don't think you can have any one thing separate. They, in the way that I work, they all tie together, and they sort of stream into each other. Because if you understand one, then you can start to grasp the other, and then that has an impact on the other sections, kind of thing. So that's how I work with my clients, working through the Law of Attraction.
You work one-on-one, or do you work with groups of other people?
I work one-on-one with the Law of Attraction coaching, because I think it's very individual. And each of the sessions, obviously, we have certain things that we'd like to cover and discuss, but at the end of the day, it's tailored to you, because your limiting beliefs or your wherever you are at your journey right now is not the same as somebody else's. There could be a client who's quite low and needs to really raise their vibration. It could be somebody who just needs to raise it slightly, or maybe look at something that's blocking them from a past situation that's not allowing them to sort of level up in their life or their business. So it's great to work on a one-to-one basis to get to the individual's needs and issues that are coming up.
Yeah. You also, I know you said on your website, it says manifesting should be easy and it should be fun. And you have a workbook for people, right? If they just want to see something, if they go to your website.
Yeah, so on my website, it's which is www.tara, Tara, and then of course my surname is the odd one, isn't it? Chatzakis, CHATZAKIS.com. And yeah, I have a workbook called Manifesting Made Easy, because it should be fun. Like you were saying before about, you have to let it go. If you're stressing over it and worrying, like, where is it? Why isn't it showing up? Oh my goodness, it's not happening. Again, I'm not lucky. It doesn't work for me. All these things come into your head, and it makes it hard work, and that lowers your vibration again. And you should be having fun with this. Play it like a game. One of the first experiments that I did with myself for the universe, I was like, okay, I'm going to test you now, make sure that you're real, that you actually, I can make this work. So I said, okay, universe, I want you to show me one pink flamingo, and I give you 48 hours to do this. So this is a great experiment to do, actually, but you have to consciously look for it, because we walk around literally and we don't see what's in front of our faces. So I was walking around and I was looking everywhere. I was like, okay, where's this pink flamingo? Where is it then? Is it on Facebook? Is it in a book? Is it in wherever? And I was walking around and I was walking down this street and I was looking in the shop windows, and we have these like little, I don't know if you have them in the States, but they're like little animals or people, and you put them in your car and like their arms bounce type thing.
Yeah. Yeah. We have this.
So it was, I was walking past this store and it was full of them. There were like 50, I don't know, nodding dogs and God knows how many of the other stuff. And right in the very middle of the window, there was one, I swear, one pink flamingo, just one. In the middle of all these other animals, and I was just like, oh my God, all right, okay, I believe you now. And I was just laughing to myself walking down the high street. People must thought I've gone absolutely crazy, but I was just like, I asked for one and I had one, and that was I think it was 12 hours after I asked for it. But I was just like, okay. And then I tried other stuff afterwards, but it was just like, that was my first, and I have that flamingo in my car now, because
of course,
it's got to be done.
Of course. No, it's good. I actually was teaching an online course of Law of Attraction, and I did an experiment similar to that. I said, pick something that you're not attached to. Like, you don't want to be like, $1 million, in 48 hours. Something that's like you said, like the pink flamingo. So one person picked a what do you call it? Ladybug. And literally 15 minutes later, she was cleaning her art studio and she found a ladybug pin under her desk in 15 minutes. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
After.
I've had a lady manifest an alligator, but it was actually, she was at home reading a book, and in the middle of this book, somebody had written a menu, as in, it was part of the story, and on the
Right.
side of the menu was drawn an alligator.
Oh my God. See?
And I had a guy. He wanted to manifest an albatross, and and there was one on the back of a bus.
Yeah.
I have never in my life seen an albatross on a bus.
See, that's a good experiment for people listening. Pick something, if
Yeah.
you're listening, just pick something that's not common in the sense, like, don't pick a black car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you see cars all the time, like, pick something that's a little off the beaten path, like playing flamingo. Well, in Florida, I don't know if a pink flamingo would be because you see them everywhere.
Okay.
But
Maybe not.
but like something that you wouldn't normally see, but you have no emotional attachment to. Like one time I did for myself a pink feather because
Yeah.
what do you see? A pink feather. And I literally found one walking on the street. It was a
I've done that with a red
synthetic.
feather.
Yeah, it was synthetic, but it was still a pink feather, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and you can give it 24 hours, 48 hours, you give it a week, but you have to consciously be looking for it. Because otherwise, it could be right there on the floor and you'll walk straight past it.
Right, right. And it's a good way to practice. And like you said, it's fun. It's like you make it like a game, and then you can up the
Yeah.
ante. You can make it more, things that are bigger and better, and see how that goes. And that's how you play and you practice
Yeah.
with it. Because why not consciously co-create with the universe? Why should we have things just happen to us, right? We should make things happen for us.
Yeah, I mean, if you went to you can't complain if you're not playing the game, let's say. If you went
Right.
to the restaurant and you said to the waiter, I want some food, and the waiter brought you one fry, then you can't complain because you asked for food and that's exactly what you got.
Right.
The fact that you wanted more than one fry is
Right.
irrelevant. You didn't ask for more. You just said, give me food. So if we're not asking specifically, or being more open, then we have to take what we get given.
Yeah, absolutely. We only have a few minutes left. There's so much that you're doing. So share a little bit about your. People can listen to you all the time because you have a podcast. So tell us a little bit about your podcast.
Yeah, my podcast is Happy, Inspired, Motivated, and I started it in lockdown. I started using I did meditations and also solo episodes, and I started interviewing people like yourself. There's some great guests that I've had on the show, and I release it twice a week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and it's on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, everywhere. I'm everywhere.
Yeah. No, it's great because the more we listen to those kind of like your podcasts, like yours, or shows like mine, the more it makes people. It's like we're planting seeds, right? We're just planting seeds that maybe make people think, you know what? This is kind of interesting. Let me investigate this a little bit more because
Yeah.
truthfully, at the end of the day, we all want to be happy and healthy and loved
Yeah.
and loving. Really, that's all we all want. It's all y'all want the
Sometimes
same
it just
stuff.
takes that 10th time for you to think, oh yeah, okay, and then to understand something. The first few times you're like, okay, and just blow it off, but then the more you hear it, they think, oh, actually, it starts to make sense, and that's it. The more people we can get to listen to, our shows that talk about things like that, the better it is. The more people that can be awake and start having more fun manifesting.
Yeah, having more fun manifesting. So, if people want to work with you, how should they reach out? How should they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
So you can get in touch with me through my website, tarachatzakis.com, or I'm on Instagram quite a lot. Again, my name is Tara Chatzakis. Facebook, Tara Chatzakis Coaching. I'm just Tara Chatzakis everywhere.
Yeah, and the great thing is you don't have to be in person nowadays anymore, right?
No, exactly. Yeah, we can do it like we're talking on this app or over the phone, Zoom. So it's great. It doesn't matter where we are. It's like we're so much closer now, which is so amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I know. I do too. Is there anything that you would recommend for those of us listening that we can start doing right away to start manifesting those things that we want?
Visualizations are really great. So if you can't visualize the future, because some people don't have the imagination for that, and that, that's fine. Visualize things that you have done that make you happy. Anything that you can latch onto, for example, that gives you feelings of joy and happiness and can make you laugh, maybe, and just try and use those throughout your day. A great exercise to do before you go to bed is gratitude, because whatever you go to bed thinking about is usually the first thing that you think of when you wake up. So try maybe for the next 7 days, when you lay down to go to sleep, before you go to sleep, instead of saying, oh, please, can I have this? Say, thank you for this, and give thanks for 5 things maybe that you've experienced during the day or in your life. Thankful that you've got a warm bed to sleep in, thankful that you have your health, thankful that you have electricity, and then going to sleep on that, and then you'll wake up in the morning with the same gratitude.
Perfect. I always talk about gratitude. Thank you, Tara, for being here with me today. And please, guys, check out her website. Thanks for listening to Postcards to the Universe with Melisa, creating the life you crave, and wishing everyone a wonderful week filled with joy, abundance, and love. Peace.